Okay, I can't resist this. Real-time Cody on Twitter mentioned that there are some 2-wire RGB LEDs on sale at IKEA. So they are 2 wires, RGB LEDs that change colour very slowly. So now it's red and green. And basically there is magic happening down these wires because the entire chain stays in sync with itself. So I've hooked up the scope here to the chain. One of the wires is just the negative battery terminal, the other wire is then modulated, and that's what we're seeing here. First thing to note is that actually what we see is around about 5 volts, just under, at the top level here. Now that's strange because the battery voltage nominally is 4.5 volts, and even if we bring that down, it will run quite happily at about 3 volts with no noticeable drop here and no noticeable intensity drop in the LEDs either. But obviously the current consumption goes up correspondingly, so presumably there's some kind of boost regulator on here. Now if I just return that to 4.5 volts just to keep it happy, what you can see here is what looks like the data coming through. So if we zoom out, every now and then, bing, 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 you can see the data coming in, and that corresponds to a refresh on the LEDs. Zooming in on that, you see a sort of a sync or a reset pulse followed by these bits of data. If we just get them to be as wide as we can get them, that will help with our visibility. So what we have is this 2-wire chain. Hopefully you can see the colours coming through okay. Currently we've got blue and green on at the same time. This is just blue and now red is coming in as well. And you can see that in here, what you've actually got is here, so that's red on full, and here blue is counting down. You can see the binary counter reducing in value, and now the green is counting up, and then red is counting down. And there we go. So blue is counting up again, and green is still on full, and that gets to a maximum, and then green starts counting down, blue's now on full. So I haven't actually counted the bits yet. Let's have a quick look, see if we can figure that one out. This is the most significant bit of blue, and just as it's changing, that looks like the least significant there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bits of blue. Does that... Maybe we're missing the top bit, so there might be 8 bits of blue. Yeah, so I reckon if we push that cursor across 1 bit, I reckon that's probably the blue field, and it doesn't quite reach maximum, so that's probably a battery saving, current consumption effort to prolong the runtime of this. And then if we shift those cursors across, this will be the red, and again we've got 8 bits of red. It doesn't quite get to the maximum value, and then we've got the green on the left. So if I just bring them back in shot again, they're currently going from green to red. Also note, red's counting down, sorry. Green is full, blue is now coming up. There you go, green is counting down, blue is still at maximum, and now we've got blue at maximum, red counting up. And then red's maximum, blue's counting down. Now in here we can also see that we have 0 bytes at the beginning, or bits at the beginning, sorry. So this is a full 8-bit, possibly, frame of green, which doesn't actually reach as high as the other values by the looks of it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bits. And then 7, 8. So the 2 most significant bits of green never actually get turned on. That's interesting. So if we come across, we have green. That then is red. And then that looks like blue. And then we've got 3 trailer bits, and they seem to just be static. So that should be quite an easy one to drive. There you go. So yeah, a little pack of RGB LEDs that are all in the chain, 2 wires to control the chain. It's not like the other ones that I looked at where there's actually addressing going on and you can identify, with the other chain it was the even set and then the odd set as distinct pairs or distinct groups. But this one is, yeah, just the whole chain is what it is. And that's kind of cool. Okay, just a very quick look at this then. They come in this nice tin. It's labelled Strala. There's a picture on the side. So there are a few different variants that come in this same tin. They have different stickers on the bottom, different stickers on the side, and the lid has a different sticker as well. I was lucky enough, I think I got the last set in the Bristol store, which is kind of awesome. So yeah, they come in this nice tin. 3 screws hold the thing together. And then this is the guts. There's a battery cover that goes on, it's just held in place by a little plastic screw. And it's got a nice feature with raised edges, so as you screw it down, it actually kind of locks itself in place, which is kind of cool. This cap goes all together like that, but in the end we find this little circuit board, and on there is some electronics to deal with what we were just looking at. So looking at that a little bit more closely, we can see all kinds of stuff going on here. I'm not going to get into the details of that too much, but as I said earlier, I think there's some kind of boost regulator in there just to keep the voltage nice and high. On the front then there's a nice latching button which comes through to the top. There's a nice little cable grip, and there's also a big chunky resistor there, which I suspect would be related to the way it modulates the data onto the line. So you either sort of short across the resistor, or you let the resistor drop that voltage. 3 AA batteries power it, and a nice long wodge of LEDs on a chain, which I've unfolded a few of. As I said, it's just 2 wires, so that's kind of cool. And each LED is then just sort of in a blob of epoxy, as we've seen before. Yeah, so it's kind of cool. I like it.